everyone, welcome back to Medlysis. I am Mansi.
And I'm Kiwi. And today's interview is one that we've been looking forward to for a few weeks now.
If you're even slightly in the pre-med world, you've seen today's guests on your FYP, his study routine, his honest advice, and just the calm, grounded way he talks about medicine.
Today's conversation is less about the checkboxes and more about the human being behind them.
He also runs a nonprofit, creates content that helps thousands of students breathe a little easier, and somehow still has the time to be a person he is today.
He is a UTSC alumni and got into med school after third year of undergrad, which is not usual, but we're going to pretend that it is.
Nimit, welcome to Medlysis Talks. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you, guys. That introduction was way too kind. I don't deserve all that. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for setting this up.
I want to start with something very meaningful. Can you share one moment from your clinical rotations that genuinely shifted the way you see medicine, or maybe even shifted the way you see yourself as a future doctor?
Mhm. I was thinking about this because you sent me this question before, and I was like, there are many things that I've had many experiences that have kind of been or have stood out to me. But I think want to mention a more personal one. So recently, in the last few months, my grandpa was here, um, and I love spending time with him. I'm very close to him, and over the last few months, he was getting these recurrent infections over and over again. And as someone in medicine, I'm in fourth year now. I was very medical focused, where I was like, okay, let's do the medicine. Let's make sure you're doing all the precautions, everything like that. And I was just trying to solve his problem as fast as I can. And it kind of kept going on and on and on. And because of that, he was very frustrated. So I was trying to talk to him, figure out what I can do to help him. And what he said to me was basically stop helping me from a medical standpoint. Just calm down, sit with me, get my mind off of this. And I think that kind of opened up a little bit in my head where I was like, sometimes maybe I don't have to be so medical. I don't have to be solving the problem. I just have to sit there and provide some my presence with him and just calm him down. And maybe that even can will solve the problem because the medicine wasn't doing it anyways. So then I just sat down with him, talked with him for an hour or two, and he felt so much better. And then that's very translatable to our hospitals because the hospitals are very, very busy. So all the time you're trying to get your work done, make sure you're doing things from an academic standpoint, but also making sure that you do everything for the patient. But sometimes you just have to sit down with them, just be a human being, and connect with them on a human level. And I think that makes the journey so much better. They're a lot happier. So I think that was one experience that really, really stood out to me.
I think that's eye-opening, honestly, because I'm just doing pre-med right now, but we get so used to textbook knowledge, right? So this kind of opens your eyes to a whole other dimension of medicine. So yeah, no, that's really
I really agree because I volunteer at Toronto General, and something that I see on a daily is that patients just want to talk.
Mhm.
They just want someone to listen to them and share their stories. So I think that's a really nice point to make.
Yeah.
So moving on, we all enter med school with some picture in our head, influenced by YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. What was the biggest misconception that you walked in with and it reshaped your reality?
Yeah. I'd say it's actually very different. Med school is very different from what you think, what I thought. And even honestly, we try to show as much as we can from a real standpoint. But there's obviously things we can't show or we can't film, or sometimes we're not filming just because we're tired or going through stuff. But I'd say in med school, number one thing that surprised me right away was the first 2 years of med school are very, very chill, where it's to the point where it's almost as chill as undergrad, even less than undergrad. Because in undergrad, as you guys know, there's a lot of pressure on you. You have to get 90s all the time. You have to do your extracurriculars, do the MCAT, do CASPER, whatever. So it gets very stressful. But in med school, it turns into more you're just here for learning. So there are marks still, and you do still have to get over a certain mark to pass a course. But those marks are in the 70s. So although it's still hard to sometimes pass things, it's the pressure's gone. So now you can focus on actually just learning and spending time doing that instead of getting the 90s and trying to optimize your marks. So I'd say that was number one, and I'd say number two. So I talked about the first 2 years, and I'll talk about the second 2 years. I didn't realize how much hard work it is to be a doctor. Like I know, like I used to look up to doctors when I was a kid. I had osteomyelitis. I looked up to my doctors when I was growing up, and I knew they worked really hard, but I didn't understand how hard they work. It's like a lot of work, a lot of hours. But in the end, it's all worth it when like you see the smiles on your patients' faces. My parents are very proud, and that makes it all worth it. You know?
That makes so much sense. Thank you for that answer.
Yeah.
No, that was very nice. Also, the fact that you said that it gets kind of chill.
I know.
That feels so nice to hear, honestly.
I know.
Especially at UofT. Like what you guys are going through, it'll definitely be more chill.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God, guys. There's hope.
Fingers crossed. But moving on, you're entering a phase where everything becomes real. Residency applications, specialty choices. What's one reminder or value that you carry through, like throughout your life or in every phase of your life?
Um, I think well, there are many things. I think what I like to do is so I'm someone who gets bored really fast. I'm always like looking for something else to do. So like that's how all of our like initiatives started. Like me and Naman and Rushal, like the MedBoys. That's how we kind of started. We just wanted to do something new and kind of keep going from that standpoint. So I just try to keep variety in my life. So if I'm not doing one thing, I'll start another thing, and then we'll kind of keep going. And also something that like my grandma would tell me, my parents would tell me is sometimes we get really tired when we're working, when you're studying, when you're doing exams and stuff, and like we want to rest after. But sometimes doing things other than studying or other than what you're doing is also like a form of rest. So for that, for us, it's like making videos, like working on different projects, starting businesses, stuff like that. I think it like unlocks a different part of your mind, and keeps you going without burning out.
I'm glad you brought the MedBoys up because that's what my next question was kind of about. So that channel's kind of become a safe space for like students like us who are like overwhelmed with, our studies and everything. So is there a specific gap in the conversation that you noticed, like which kind of led to you wanting to start this channel?
So, first of all, I'm very happy that it's helping you. That's why we started it. I mean, the reason we started MedBoys is because we didn't have any guidance, we didn't have any support. And it started off as a podcast. So, like, kind of like this conversation right here, where we interviewed one of the med students we knew. We only knew like one or two med students. And he was very nice enough to come on and tell us these things. And that video got maybe like 30, 40 views, right? So, more than for people, it was like for us. So, I could rewatch that video. I probably rewatched that video like 6 times just so I would get that information. So, that's how it started. And then as we progressed through the whole pre med cycle, we realized that there's no one place where all of this information is. And there's a lot of stuff that's like hidden, as you guys probably like notice at every turn. Like about the MCAT, there's a lot of hidden stuff. With Casper, there's a lot of hidden stuff. Even applications, like if you didn't have someone in the system, then it's very hard to navigate all this, especially by yourself. I was lucky enough to have two friends with me who wanted to do the same thing, had the same motivations, and like kind of we all like kind of collectively wanted the same goal without competition. So I was lucky enough to have that, but I know most people don't have that. So we're like, let's create something where everyone gets access to this information and open this up for like the public. And we're trying our best to do better, but sometimes it gets very busy and it's hard to post.
But it's a safe space for a lot of parents as well. My dad has sent a lot of your videos when I was studying.
Oh yeah, just wait until our parents watch this. Oh my God.
I know they're really excited. But that's true. Having someone to really like walk through with you in this journey is so important. Like, we're doing this together, and I'm so grateful. Just like you mentioned that.
And also the fact that you said that you kind of did it for yourselves, right? To like go back and watch that podcast for yourself. I think we get too invested in what like, oh, what will med school think about what we do?
Yeah.
Or like we're doing it for something else. But doing stuff for ourselves is also very important. So that was something I really liked.
Yeah, we were very scared in the start because we're like, will this affect your chances of getting into medical school? But like, as long as you do it responsibly and you don't say things that are like outlandish or false or anything like that, I think they appreciate it, and I think they actually look at it like helping. We don't have any like official affiliations with the university, So like whatever we say is like what we have learned over time. But like we've been lucky enough that all three of us are at UofT now. So I think we have learned some things along the way that we want to tell people and help people with. So that's just been our like mission. And about the parents thing, it's actually very funny because I never really thought we'd have that. But it was actually at I think Naman and Rushal's graduation in fourth year, where we had like more parents come up to us than students, and we're like, okay, this is very nice. This is how we made it. We've impressed all the parents.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
Oh, 100%. I'm waiting for my dad to watch this interview.
Hopefully Medlysis makes it there too. Guys, show your parents our videos, please.
Literally.
So this next question is one that I'm personally very interested in. What's one underrated class or experience or like just some skill that you've picked up in undergrad that you didn't think would be as helpful as it ended up in med school?
I think like this isn't really like a skill, but I think in undergrad, what me, Naman, and Rusha wanted to do is our main mission at that time was this club that we started called Blankets for TL, which is a nonprofit that helps people experiencing homelessness. We support them by giving them supplies, advocating for them, stuff like that. Um, and I don't know, starting that organization was very hard. No one really wanted to help us. We got almost no money from the university starting off. So we kind of self funded to start off with. And then getting it off the ground was like very, very difficult. We had to talk to MPs. We had to kind of get sponsors from more like creative means. Like we had pre-med companies sponsoring us just because we were like get money from wherever we can. But what that experience taught me is to kind of just make things happen. So like sometimes when we're in pre-med, when we're in med school, we're kind of like told what to do, right? It's like, okay, get a GPA, get a good MCAT, get a good CASPER, then you get into med school, then you get good marks there, then you apply to residency, then you like do on residency, you get a job, right? Like that's like a very straight path. But like for most people who are applying to med school, the path will be like more zigzag, will be like up and down. And if you do these hard things, where like you don't really know what's going to happen and you adapt and kind of like learn to like adapt constantly, and that then it'll help you a lot going forward. So like stuff you're doing right now, like this conversation, it's hard to do. It's hard to public speak. Right? It's hard to be on camera. I like it was so hard for me to like first be on camera. Like I'm still not natural, right? But it's like if you do these hard things, then it prepares you for whenever something else comes into your life because you can touch back to that experience and be like, okay, I know how to deal with this. So I think the more hard things you do in undergrad, the better prepared you will be for like med school and also just going forward.
That's such a good advice because I know that this is helping the viewers, but it's also helping me a lot get motivated that things are going to be fine and we're going to get there one day, hopefully. Okay, let's shift the vibe a little bit.
So we're gonna read a few med school beliefs, and then you have 5 seconds to say either fact, cap, or it's complicated.
Even if you want to overthink it, please don't. Just match the vibe and trust the process. So are you ready?
Yeah, I'll try to keep it 1 second, not even 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. You need a 4.0 for med school.
False. I should say false, right?
Yeah, it's like fact, cap.
Okay, I'll say cap.
Okay.
Say cap, yeah.
Research over shadow?
I don't think shadow is good. Cap.
Okay. Third year breaks everyone.
Cap. I'd say third year is not that bad. I'd say fourth year breaks up.
Oh, great.
No publications means no med school.
Well, like 100% cap. I had no problem when I applied.
Medkits. Medkits don't have lives.
That might be a little bit true.
Oh no.
Clinical rotations are glamorous.
Very cap. It's a lot of work.
You must know your specialty before M1.
Very cap. I did not know until like the last minute, basically.
Okay. Med school friendships are mostly competition.
I'd say cap. In Canada, it's very non-competitive. So I think it's very good.
Okay, that's good to hear.
We're not going to-
Only perfect MCAT scores matter.
This is a big myth. I think it's like cap. I think MCAT is probably one of the least important things now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is very nice to hear, guys. Listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Volunteer hours are more important than anything.
I'd say cap. I don't think anything's more important than anything. I think you just want to build a well-rounded application.
pre-med mistakes could ruin your chances forever.
I guess that's true, but it depends on what the mistake is.
Okay, that's fair actually.
You must be a straight A student to survive.
That is true. I don't want to break people's hearts. Not that you can't make mistakes. You can make mistakes, but in pre-med, you can't make that many.
Good to hear. Taking a gap year is a red flag.
Cap. Gap years are like gap years are gap years. Gap years are very common. I think the average age at UofT my year was like 24, 25 of entering med school, which is like 2-3 years out of med school or out of undergrad.
I'm going on that vacation afterwards. Okay, social media presence ruins applications.
Well, I didn't ruin mine, so thank God. I hope it doesn't. I think you just have to be responsible.
Thank you so much for that lovely segment.
So today's episode is one of many firsts. This next segment, also a new one, is called Confession Cards.
You pick 2 or 3 chits at random. These are the chits. And each one has a storytelling prompt. So you're gonna pick one chit, tell your story, and then pick it.
Whatever you pick, just tell the first story that comes to mind. Whatever is, just be honest.
Sounds good. Okay, so it says a moment I felt truly seen. This is an interesting one. I guess I could talk about my stethoscope ceremony. I think that's what is a big moment in my life. The stethoscope ceremony, for everyone that doesn't know, is like this ceremony they do when you get into medical school. It's like the last day before you start your classes. So it's like this big journey. That the reason I said truly seen is because my parents were there, my grandparents were there, my friends were there. So like I really felt like all this like hard work was worth it, and like they saw that, and they were like very proud. I used to watch videos. If you search up UofT stethoscope ceremony, there's videos online of like these montages. Basically, I used to watch those over and over again when I was applying. So to actually be there, it was surreal, and it's an amazing feeling.
And I really agree with that because the only reason I work stethoscope relationships is to like manifest it.
It really works. It does work.
It manifested this interview.
Exactly.
A lesson I'll carry forever. We talked about one of them already, so I'll try to think about another one. I think like humility is probably one that I think blankets for TO really taught me. Like I complain all the time about like how much I have to work or like how cold it is outside or like whatever. But back when we were like donating blankets to people experiencing homelessness, we used to talk with them as well. We wouldn't just give it to them; we'd talk about their stories. And when you hear their stories, it makes you realize how lucky we are. Like we're even sitting here in like a heated place, it's like so cold outside. There's people suffering outside. So I think it gives you like perspective about like how hard people's lives actually are and like how well your life is actually going. So even if there are things that are not going your way, you have to be like thankful for the things you already have, and that keeps you like grounded. And then also doesn't let you get too high as well, because because the stories I've heard of these people are like they're doing really well, and then something goes bad and everything comes crashing down. So you want to make sure that you have like a balance, and that really taught me a lot. I'm very thankful to everyone I talked to back then for giving me that perspective.
It's really eye-opening. I
Yeah,
guess.
thank you for that. Last but not the least.
A moment I almost walked away. Um, yeah, I guess we can relate this to like med school because that's what this interview is about. I'd say like there was a I think it was in my second year, I took this course, and I'd gotten a bad mark in the course, like relatively, but as you guys know in med school, like for med school applications, you get one bad mark and it ruins like your chances so much. So I was like very upset back then about the mark. I didn't think I deserved that mark, even though I probably did. And I was just very like disappointed, very frustrated. I was like, what am I going to do now? I'll never get into med school. It's going to be such a hard time. But I think during that time, things that helped me were like one, like my friends, they were there to support me. They were like, it's going to be fine. We'll take care of it. I think having that support system really helps. And then keeping that belief in yourself that I'll come back from this. I think it's not that I like gave up from med school, but I think it really like put me in like a bad place for some time. I was lucky enough to get in on my first try. I know a lot of people are not lucky enough to do that. And I've seen their experiences and I've seen how hard it is. But the common theme for all of them has been they never give up and they keep like a positive attitude even in bad times, and they keep like a growth mindset about I want to keep going forward. They take accountability for their actions. They make sure that um, they're not like blaming this on people. They're not blaming this on luck, like we talked about earlier, and they just kind of keep going forward. So as long as you keep going forward, it's fine. No matter what like bad thing happens, it's fine. It's fine. And also like if you want this that bad, then it'll happen. So like it's very like the whole manifestation thing is very real. I like when I was applying, my Apple watch face was like the Temerity medicine like banner. That was my watch face. That was my phone face. I was like watching videos all the time. Like I was making sure that I saw this 24/7. And I like not that that got me in or anything, but like I think it put me in the right like headspace to work as hard as I needed to make it here.
I think that's very like useful to anybody who is planning on med school or anything in general, because we've all been there. Like
Yeah, literally.
this sounded like me yesterday, but that was really helpful.
Have to change.
Yeah, it's changing right after this interview.
I can't guarantee that will help.
He said it, guys.
It's gonna happen. Nimit, thank you so much for showing up today, not just as a nut student, but as a person. We really appreciate you being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a great time.
And for anyone watching, if you want real guidance, calm advice, and content that won't make you spiral, make sure you follow him and the MedBoys.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you once again. And everyone watching, please keep watching us. Thank you.
And thanks to these guys for being great time.